Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is going to be a different reading because I have received this nudge of doing an experiment with today's reading. Just because I was left yesterday after the solar eclipse in Libra collective reading with this question in my mind because it was so permeated with the struggles and the release that is happening with the significant other, that I just wanted to open myself up and allow a message to come through for you, right? But in regards to this relationship, since yesterday the other was kind of like the protagonist, so I'm doing this experiment with you, but I wanted to I wanted to make it different because I haven't pulled the cards yet actually. So actually you're just going to see this if this works out. If not, then it's okay. But yeah, coming from the solar eclipse, I just feel like rewriting my own rules, right, in regards to this relationship with myself, as a channel for the messages to come. And so I wanted to just open up to the cards and also in a very raw, in a very honest way, um, to pull the cards together with you. And so, what I generally do, behind the camera without you seeing, I'm going to do it with you here right now. So, maybe you can consider this like a more personal, private reading, per se, maybe. If it resonates, I have no idea what's going to come through. Usually, when I hit record, I already know at least like a glimpse of the storyline that I'm going to translate here for you. But since I want you to join me, I want your energy to also be here with me, as I'm going to be here with you and the cards. Um, yeah, I'm just going to share what I do here before I start pulling the cards so that you can also, just attune yourself and find your balance and find this alignment within so that you can also receive as a clear channel, not just what I'm going to shuffle here with the cards, but also what is meant for you, what is going to help you in regards to this relationship, this very significant relationship that was um so important yesterday, and yet it felt almost incomplete, right? So yeah, I'm just sharing this behind the scenes type of preparation before the reading moment with you so that you can align with me and help me shuffle the cards and prepare this reading for you. So before I begin, I just sit down and just hold my cards and close my eyes. And so maybe you can just, sit down wherever you are. Maybe you're lying down. So maybe you can just feel the entirety of your spine, feel the top of your head, feel like how your position, like how your body is in space right now, and just try to feel into what is coming through this bodily sensation. Just take a deep breath. And perhaps you can start bringing this significant other to your mind, to your mind's eye. Maybe, as an image of them sitting in front of you or right next to you. Maybe if you can, try to bring them right in front of your third eye, right? Almost as if you can see their entire face, not just feel them beside you. And so, in regards to everything that perhaps you have heard from yesterday's reading and that has stuck with you or that resonated with you in a way, maybe you already have almost like this glimpse of what the other is going through at this moment. So, start opening yourself, opening your heart, opening your mind, opening this conversation, this telepathic communication with this other in regards to what is your place in it, what is your role, what you are bringing to it, or what you can offer to this other, since maybe they can be struggling at this moment. And so, just thinking about all of this, it's almost like try to focus just in that. Don't worry about whatever is happening around you. Just take like these very deep breaths and just focus inward, but also in this image. Okay. Maybe I'll just share whatever comes as it comes. So the very first card that came through is the Knight of Swords, which what it brought to me was like this conversation is now officially open. There is no secret, there is no mystery, there is just this willingness to talk, right? And I feel like this is both from your partner but also from you. So it's almost like the speaker and the listener at the same time, right? Okay. This is getting interesting. So the Seven of Pentacles, this is talking about like this analysis or this review of everything that has been accomplished. It's almost like putting, it's like lay over like, a bench or the bed or whatever, like a surface, right, in your mind. This is what I'm seeing, right? It's like just overlaying a surface with everything that you have done together, that you have accomplished together. And it's almost like all of the shared experiences, all of the shared materializations of, you being together with this person. So, and maybe I want to say that they are the ones proposing this, because it's almost like maybe they're saying, okay, now that this conversation is open, let's start from where we are right now, right? Where we are in this exact moment. It's like all the paths, all of, the experiences, all of the things that we have done together, everything that we have accomplished together. Let's look at these things and see, it's like where we're standing right now, which feels very grounding, feels very mature, right? Even though it's a night. It's almost like there is this curiosity also, like, okay, but we can only see where it goes from here if we just take a deep look at where we are at this moment. Okay, yeah. So the Four of Swords coming next just says that it's like it's okay if this analysis takes longer, or it takes however long it needs to take, right? So it's interesting because this card was ending the extended yesterday for the collective, and I feel like the Four of Swords here is wanting to emphasize the fact that it's like there is no need to rush, right? In this conversation, this review of everything that you have done together. So it's almost like pay attention to the details. This is what I'm getting from the Seven of Pentacles now. It's like take as much time as you need to, it's like see the value, see how precious each experience is, right? And how together they create almost like this treasure, right? It's like in time, this treasure is going to be able to be perceived, especially by you, right? Maybe because it's like they are also curious because they're the ones saying, okay, let's open this conversation. They're willing to look at this as much as you are, but it's almost like they are asking you to take the first step and say, okay, so, throw it out there. It's like, just spit it all out. Just say whatever you need to say. Just, it's almost like bring everything that you have been holding. It's like, just expose all of that. That's the reason why I was seeing like all of these um papers or memories or photos like spread on a surface, right? On a table or on the bed. And it's like, don't rush into that process. Just like be there with your person, right? Looking at those things. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, by the way, I didn't introduce my deck, right? So I have my deck here, which is the one that I use for the collective readings. So you'll see both the tarot cards and the astrological cards. And I'm just saying this because a card from the astrological deck came through and I just saw 1111, which is gorgeous, which is the portal opening, right? Because this card represents the North Node. And the North Node, I mean, it's just so absolutely gorgeous how it's lining up with the eclipse. Although, we just had the solar eclipse in Libra where the south node is, which, would be the opposite to the north node, which is almost like the baggage that we carry from past lives. But here, because the north node is here, it's almost like after this time to consider everything that's been lived together, everything that has been shared between both of you, it's like both of you are going to, it's like you are it's just reminding me of the co-creation, right, that came through in yesterday's YouTube portion of the collective reading. And so maybe the co-creation that you are supposed to do together or supposed to bring forth is the opening of this portal. And because the north node invites us all, I was trying to find the proper word, but it is an invitation, right, to evolve, to develop our spirit and our souls, but in a way that is deeply profound. It's like it's crossing this threshold to this unknown territory, but doing so when you feel like you have taken the time to deal with the practical stuff, right? So it's almost like on the other side of this moment to just think things through and just analyze what's been the concrete value of this partnership, of this relationship. It's like it's going to go to the next level, which feels like almost like this very subtle, very etheric, very spiritual type of crossing, right? And I'm just questioning whether this crossing is going to be together or not, because it feels like each individual should do this crossover by themselves, but we'll see. Oh, too many cards. Okay. So we have the Three of Swords here, and actually this feels like a step back from the Four of Swords, right? Since it's the card that comes before it. So I do feel like there is a little bit of a hesitation, right? That was, perhaps also because the cards were almost like hesitating themselves to come through. You know what I mean? It's like now you can see, right, what goes behind the scenes whenever I feel like the cards are communicating not just through the cards themselves, but also like the rhythm of the shuffling. And so, you saw how long, or, it took a little bit longer than before. So it's almost like before the cards were coming through in a certain rhythm, right? With no rush, but in a certain rhythm. And so it's almost like facing this threshold that invites us to this unknown territory of evolution. It's almost like it triggers this, I'm just thinking about the term that Sen uses, and I feel like it's beautiful and it's very appropriate for what the message of the Three of Swords bringing, which is the fear threshold, right? It's like the closer you are to this very transformative, this very kind of it's like this catapult, right? This transformative threshold, this boundary that leads to a place that you've never been before, a dimension, an awareness that you've never been before. Of course it's going to trigger this moment of just butterflies in your stomach and not really wanting to cross this threshold, or all of the triggers, all of the fears that could potentially be going through your mind right now. And I do feel like you know if you are, or if you are heading to that moment where you're so close, it's like you were the one together with this partner, right? In opening this conversation, you open also this portal. So it's like in opening this portal, you brought yourself to like this proximity to it that perhaps is going to trigger that very thing that is like, it's very vulnerable, right? And I'm just okay, I'm being reminded again from yesterday's reading how, in a way, the one that I'm doing this reading for was triggering in your partner, right? Um, Kind of like this fear or this traumatic response or this, um, it's like this instinctive behavior of, or reaction of, thinking that they would be betrayed by you, or that you were acting in a weird, unreliable way. And maybe this is exactly what is meant to happen, right? It's almost like resting in this analysis of everything that has been shared, that has been lived together, is also going to touch upon very delicate things. So it feels like this step backwards, right? But really, it's almost like to move, in order to cross this threshold, it's like there needs to be this instability, right? Because the four is very stable, is very comforting in a way, right? So there needs to be almost like this imbalance, this force of dynamic, right? This movement of the three that enables, all of this change, all of this crossing. So it can be very spiky. It can be, triggering the fear threshold in you. So we'll see what comes next. Okay. So yeah, two cards actually came together, and they're gorgeous. Actually, let me show you. So the two cards that came through are both major arcana, right? The Tower, and beneath it, and behind it is the Temperance, which feels to me, because the Temperance is to me kind of like the higher version of the Two of Cups, and it's behind the Tower. So the safety of the Tower, which traditionally the Tower conveys the meaning of an old structure that is now falling, to give the opportunity for this new foundation to be attained in time, right? Also, because to me, the number 4 brings this idea of the foundation. So it's almost like what you're doing with your partner and what they are also curious to see where this conversation is going to lead you both is the opening of this portal, is the opening of this unknown way of relating to one another, but also to spiritually evolve, that is in a sense touching you both, but is like very, it has like this very beautiful dance between stability and safety, because to me the tower represents home, like a place where you feel like at home, but also the dynamic of a conversation, right? The conversation needs to be this exchange, right? This back and forth. It cannot be, this monologue where you're the one speaking your truth and they're the one just listening. Remember that I said that the Knight of Swords is at the same time the speaker and the listener. And maybe this is also for you, right? It's almost like maybe now you're going to be the one that shares your truth, what you remember from these memories, from these experiences together, from, these photos or situations, but they're receiving all of that. And I feel like it's going to come to a point where it's like the tables will turn, or not in that sense, right, of the phrase. It's just that it's like their cup is going to be full and your cup is going to be empty, and then things will tip. So they're going to be the ones spilling it all out, and then you're going to be the one receiving. And I want to say that because they are two major arcana, in a sea of minor arcana plus the North Node, it's almost like this is already reaching this other realm. This is almost like this new home. And I want to say not a physical home, but it's like a place where both of you feel at ease with one another to share very vulnerably what you both see from the same situation. It's almost like both of you are looking at the same stuff, right? Just laying upon the bed or the table or whatever, right? On the consciousness of both of you. But it's like both of you know when to listen and when to talk. There is this beautiful exchange. And also, what I'm just being given right at the very end here is that the Temperance talks about patience. And so the Four of Swords is just being kind of like confirmed here. It's like, be patient with yourself, but also with your partner, and know that it's like you're going to be, it's like the answer that is going to come from this very patient stance. It's like they are going to respond with also a lot of patience with you, or for your time to speak. You know what I mean? So it is protected, I want to say. It is almost like a conversation that both of you are going to have in private, that is like it's safeguarded. It's almost like it's going to be protected, not just physically but also in this higher realm of spirit, right? It's like both of you are creating this portal where you can have this safe, open conversation. Let me see what's at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, it's just the sign of Virgo, and I'm not getting much of it really. It's just talking about, like, because Virgo is an earth sign, it's just pointing towards the Seven of Pentacles. Like, don't forget about the details, right? Virgo is also a very detailed oriented sign. So don't forget about the details. Like, just be honest, be open. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this experimental format of doing your reading. I am going to pull cards for the extended, perhaps in the same similar way as I did here. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes there in the extended. So if you feel like joining me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.